Okay, sorry about that. I had a bit of a technical issue with my laptop. What I was saying was, okay, so proteins are basically made of amino acids. Okay, so back to the Lego I have. So think of amino acids as being a single piece of Lego. Okay, I can join them together to give me a protein. Okay, so the base pairs in DNA, the ATGCs, are basically amino acids. They basically form amino acids, the ATGCs. So valine, for example. Now, valine, I know a lot about. It's in fact, every bodybuilder knows about this. It's a branched chain amino acid, okay, because of the way its molecular structure is. So valine is great because it blocks tryptophan in the brain. Tryptophan is a chemical that makes you feel sluggish and drowsy and whatnot. It's not good for bodybuilding, which is why taking valine is great in your protein powder. So it comes along with another amino acid called leucine and isoleucine. So this amino acid is actually made of CAAs, right? Cysteines and adenines. And if you have, so drawing a DNA strand, right? Along the strand, you can have different combinations of the base pairs, right? And they correspond to different amino acids. And so you can think of DNA as being, or it is actually a protein, right? So the protein, the amino acids are held together by peptide bonds, okay, covalent bonds. And one long chain of these is called a polypeptide. Okay, poly means many, so many amino acids. So I've wrote here, sorry, the video cut off what I talked about previously. Basically, a peptide bond, by definition, it's a type of covalent bond between two amino acids, as I mentioned, right? So if you have valine and lysine, that thing joining them together is called a peptide bond. A polypeptide are basically short chains of amino acids held together by peptide bonds. So it's basically a repeat of this and a repeat of that, so on and so forth. That's a polypeptide. So just to recap for this lesson, I talked about the Watson-Crick model, how it's still used today to study DNA, how it explains the exact replication of DNA, you know, how I gave the zipping analogy. So a DNA strand unzips into two new strands. I talked about mutation, gave the example of Spider-Man, okay, so if you substitute or delete a base pair, you cause a mutation. I talked about amino acids as being the building blocks of protein and how the base pairs can actually form amino acids in the DNA. And I talked about the bonds between them. They're called peptide bonds that hold amino acids. And many peptide bonds result in a polypeptide. Okay, and you can think of protein shakes. They contain amino acids like valine that I talked about.